As you can see, the tool's ability isn't used to its fullest, which can put you at a disadvantage.
And that's why you hold your spoon right.
I am Noxiddar!
Hey everyone, how's it going? Noxiddar here, and welcome to the next reaction of Delicious in Dungeon, episode 19. It is kind of wild to me when I think about we just had almost kind of a little bit of a silly episode trying to find out who is an imposter and who is sus and all of that. But at the same time, I love that it also infers a deeper meaning that you can pull something out. It's like a well of knowledge, and we're just hoisting up that bucket, and that it can teach you a lot about yourself and also a lot about our characters, and such that we know kind of how characters, maybe not which ones, but we kind of see how characters view each other. And I feel like that's really enlightening. But then also at the same time, I'm sitting here questioning my own fuzzy memory. Like, for example, I don't know who this ninja lady's name is, and I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot of people like, well, just look it up. And the problem is, when I look stuff up, I usually inadvertently also pick up information I wasn't wanting to learn just yet. I guess I could go back in some of the episodes, but to be fair, I'm not going backwards, I'm going forward. So we're gonna try to apply my age-old strategy of just being patient and waiting and seeing if the name and the identity presents itself. I don't know, I guess it taught me a lot about being detail-oriented and things of that nature. It was just kind of a neat way to reflect on myself, reflect on the characters and the story. And again, these are hallmarks of a great storyteller. And so I'm ready for this great storyteller to take us to the next part of the story. So with that being said, let's get right to our reaction.
Now hurry up and drop your weapon. Step back and get on your hands and knees.
Oh.
You move even one bit and I'll kill her.
Hey, Laios. She was one of Shuro's followers, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, then she was tailing us this whole time.
You, get this spell off me. Huh? The spell that's been cast on me. Hurry up and get rid of it.
Do you know what kind it is?
I thought you knew black magic.
You gotta at least mention exactly where it was cast on
Ah.
you and what type it is.
Actually, not one type of spell, but two. The first one is here. The other
Cat girl, wow.
is my whole body.
Wait, does that mean she's a beast man?
I saw one of these a long time ago. She's what's called an artificially made beast man. I heard they're made using black magic to mix human and beast souls.
Alright then, I'll do whatever I can.
Yeah, interesting.
Text looks like it's written in the Eastern language. What's the spell type?
Are you really a magic user? It's a curse that activates if the caster doesn't touch it within a set time.
And what happens when the time is up?
Dunno, so you might want to remove it quickly.
I'm not familiar with the letters, but I think I can remove this.
Hey, kid over there!
Huh?
Bring me something to eat!
Jeez, Senshi.
If you try to make me eat monster parts, I'll kill you.
I understand. Hold on. Are those little feet it sprouted? Probably my imagination. It feels shameful to be making something this simple compared to the dishes I had been making. But I hate the thought of letting a young'un go hungry, so I'll do whatever I've gotta do. At the very least, I could put some cheese in. It's ready.
Oh man, that does look pretty good though.
This kid, she has no table manners. None! Do you think etiquette in the East is different from how we learn it here?
Doubt it. I've never once seen Shuro eat as sloppy as she does.
This is just me guessing, and I'm allowed to be wrong before you try to correct me. But based off of the no table manners, so they're like saying a beast man, but what if it's a man beast? Something to think about. That seems like the kind of thing that Ryokokui would do to turn an idea on its head.
What did you do that for?
I hate mushrooms.
She's picky.
This has never happened before.
Senshi.
You're not holding it in your hand the right way.
Hey, get any closer to me and you're dead meat!
Take that spoon, hold it properly, and pick up every piece of food you dropped on the floor.
Whoop!
This is how you hold a spoon.
I can hold it how I want!
Being forced to hold something in a way you're not used to must be vexing.
No effect. Paper?
It's called a sujihiki knife, a type of carving knife used to finely slice meat. It's actually delicate. Now, what do you think would happen if you swung it while gripping it like that?
Senshi!
As you can see, the tool's ability isn't used to its fullest, which can put you at a disadvantage.
And that's why you hold your spoon right.
Now, Laios! Cat girl, you're not hurt anywhere, are you? Probably startled you, and I'm sorry about that. There are reasons why there's good and bad ways to hold even the simplest of tools, and I'd like you to keep that in mind. Looks like your food already got cold. Let me warm it up for you real quick.
So why were you even following us?
This curse on my body, I've been looking for a way to remove it for a really long time. I eventually figured out that the curse is tied to black magic, but wasn't able to find a magic user who specialized in it. Not until we ran into that long ear, anyway.
Ancient magic has several types.
I know you're capable of it! I've seen living proof of your work after all. You've combined a person and a monster with your black magic! You guys are going deeper into the dungeon so you can remove the curse on that woman, aren't you? That must mean you know of a way to get rid of it! Remove this beast soul that possessed me so I can finally be free!
But that's just not something I can do for you. There are lots of things we still don't know about souls, but they're often compared to an egg. Usually a soul is inside the body, or shell, but
Right.
once the body breaks, the insides spill out and can't be put back together again. In your and Fallon's cases, at the moment, there are two souls inside a single shell. Once two souls are mixed together, it's impossible to go back to how they were before.
I already knew all that, but to put it so bluntly is harsh.
Why are you guys still continuing on such a dangerous journey?
I can't leave my sister in the state she's currently in. She might kill the next adventurer she runs into, or they might kill her. We have to do something before then. Also,
True.
if we go back to the surface now, we'd get arrested for using black magic. Shuro probably will have reported this to the Island Lord.
So you're saying I'm stuck like this forever?
This might be weird of me to say. I'm really glad I ended up meeting you. I have no idea what monster you're mixed with, but your speech and actions are perfectly human. Plus, you have no urge to murder anything. Looking at it a different way. If we manage to free Fallon, she could regain her original personality. I'm really happy right now.
He is so socially awkward, isn't he?
Hang on. Are you guys inviting me into your party?
I think I heard before that your name's Asabi?
That was just an alias.
Then what's your...
Izutsumi. My real name's Izutsumi.
Izutsumi. I will not. See, this is why we had that conversation at the beginning.
Laios, how long are you going to keep up this lifestyle?
Father.
Your party members are gonna trick and rob you, just like the ones from your gold stripping days, because you're horrible at judging people's character.
That was certainly true with me.
You're so annoying! We settled this already! Why are my parents even here? I haven't seen them in over 10 years. More importantly, where am I? What was I doing? I was getting kinda worried about Marceille. She'd been looking really tired.
I'm not even tired enough to sleep yet. All right, I'm getting up now.
Her peaceful sleeping breaths turned into unsettling groans. This looks pretty serious.
Is it a monster?
Yeah, a nightmare to be exact. It possesses sleeping people, gives them bad dreams, and eats their emotions. Marceille will keep getting weaker and eventually die.
That's not good.
When Shuro got possessed that one time, Fallon went inside his dream and saved them. So let's try out that method. You simply use the one who's dreaming as a pillow, and... I remember now. Okay, now how do I go into Marceille's dream? He's right under my head at the moment, so that should mean I can dig down to get to her. This is why dreams are the best. This is Marceille's dream, huh?
Pretty desaturated too.
Is someone there? This place is dangerous. You need to leave.
Are you Marceille?
Who are you?
It's me, Laios. The two of us are currently inside your dream. You should wake up so we can get out of this... what's that?
Oh no, it's coming. Hurry up, this way.
A dream about being chased. It's a common dream, but still stressful. What was it Fallon said?
Nightmares really love to feed on emotional wounds and display them as bad dreams. In order to prevent that, you need to protect those wounds.
All right, I got it. I'm gonna defeat that thing for you.
You can't do that. It's dangerous.
Ew.
So that's Marcelle's fear? If she knew that this was a dream, that thing wouldn't be a threat. It'll be okay. We're gonna figure out how to defeat it. What is this thing that Marceille fears? It's definitely a monster. It has slow, crawly-like movements, several tentacles, and a hearty appetite.
It's so grotesque and so many different facets and features to it that it's kind of hard to take it in all at once. I guess that would be kind of terrifying. And it's interesting that the perception that Marceille has is of herself as being helpless and a child, and this thing came from the darkness, which, full disclosure, I remember being a kid and being terrified of the dark. Even now as an adult, I wouldn't say that I'm scared of the dark per se, but I've like learned some habits where if I'm going across my house to like go to the kitchen to get a drink or something in the middle of the night or go to the bathroom, I turn on lights as I go. I'm almost like Spider-Man. I'm just like swinging from pull string to light switch. And then on my way back, I'm turning them all out so that I never walk into a dark room. Weird admission, I get it.
I know! It's a worm!
Huh?
Worms are a part of the dragon family. Their atrophied eyes and legs make them caterpillar-like. If they're hungry, then they'll eat just about anything. Good job, me. I didn't even hear it. Watch out! We gotta run!
The thing didn't touch you just now, did it?
What is this? What happens if I die in someone else's dream? I'll fall right into its trap if I get anxious. It'll be okay. You've got magic on your side. Did I say something bad?
I already tried using some of my magic to defeat the monster, and that's how she ended up looking like this.
She? Wait a minute. Is that doll Fallon?
Yeah, it does look like Fallon.
Marceille feels guilty about what her magic turned Fallon into.
That makes sense.
Defeating the monster must mean the thing Marceille fears is death. You can't just run away all the time. You need to stand your ground and fight. If you die in this dungeon, you can get revived, like Fallon. She's alive because you used revival magic on her. Besides, you're used to seeing corpses, right? Oh no, it's sucking me in. Why is it always trying to pull me in? It's not poison. I'm aging at an incredibly fast rate.
Does this mean you're gonna end up leaving me too?
I'll be able to run again after I rest.
Liar! Everybody gives up on running with me, then that thing swallows them. That's why I worked so hard to study lots of magic. But if learning and using that magic made Fallon go away, then what was it all for? We were at Papa's funeral, and Mama said that when I run, I go a lot faster than everyone else. So that means I'm gonna have to say goodbye to a whole bunch of people.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
mentioning Pippi. Who is that?
My bird.
I see. So it's not that Marceille is afraid of death. She's actually worried her loved ones will die before she does.
I feel like that would be a really common fear for elves. And I almost wonder if that's why, I don't know if that's necessarily the case in this world, if they're like the collective species of elves tend to be more, not so much xenophobic, but like monocultural, in that they just kind of keep to their own because their lifespans are so much more extended than others. I don't know because I haven't experienced it, but from what I kind of gleaned and understood from like, I think I was watching like Asmongold kind of break down a little bit of it, like that, is it Frieren? That's kind of like the dilemma that she's faced with. And I will say, like, while I didn't particularly enjoy Rings of Power, I did like when Elrond's just chilling for 20 years, that a large chunk of lifespan had basically been removed from his friend who was a dwarf at that time, and how that almost like didn't really resonate with him until he was confronted with it. I guess another one would be like Highlander. You know, when you're living as an immortal, you know, it's so hard to over time to get close to people and love them because you have to watch them fade. I don't know. I often think about that because I don't know, maybe, I don't know if you have or not, but I do remember like thinking through what immortality would be like. And I feel like immortality could be a blessing or it could be a curse. I feel like it could be a blessing for people that have an insatiable curiosity for unraveling the mysteries of this universe, right? Where like you become one with infinity to understand infinity, but it would be a curse for people who always feel like they're leaving things behind, that they're seeing countless destruction of like their life, where they give away a little bit of themselves and then to somebody else or something else, and then that goes away. And so it's an interesting dichotomy. So of course Marceille would be grappling with things like this, and she is, by all rights, still pretty young. So again, there's that kind of like personal connection where I've thought about these things and their ramifications in my younger years. I'm still pretty young, but in my even younger years, and her doing the same here. Yeah, that makes sense. That's interesting.
I can't fight it. I can't do anything.
No, you can, because you're Marceille, and you're amazing. You've been working hard for a long time, right? Don't get discouraged. Have confidence in yourself. Marceille, stay strong.
How can I be strong when my magic's incomplete? If only I had that book he was carrying with him, I'd finally be able to complete my magic.
If you wish hard enough for it, you can do anything, so don't be afraid.
The 8, the symbol of infinity. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Wait a minute, is that even how you're supposed to use that?
You're finally awake.
You were both groaning in your sleep.
I really don't remember what happened.
Just going back to sleep!
No, please, you have to stay awake.
My dream? I can't remember it, but from what I can tell, it was probably a fun one.
Looks like my plan actually worked.
Did something happen?
Pass your pillow to me.
What's that?
This thing is a nightmare. It sneaks inside of people's pillows and gives them bad dreams. It must have been hiding in your pillow for a while.
We're gonna eat a nightmare?
Senshi,
Let's go.
think we can eat these? I'm curious about what they taste like. Another name that the nightmare goes by is Shen. It's part of the dragon family. They kind of look like dragons, don't you think?
You're joking, right?
And it's ready.
Whoa.
That's me when I was little.
The dream that the nightmares ate turned into a mirage.
I think I'm starting to remember things. Yeah, that's right. I was running away from something and suddenly a fluffy dog appeared. The dog and I went on an adventure to search for treasure together.
Yeah.
It was a really fun dream.
That's a pretty dirty looking dog.
Doesn't look all that smart.
What's wrong, Laios?
The way I remember it, it was a silver wolf and not a dog. If I was able to help make her dream fun, then I'm glad.
I'm really glad that we had this moment to kind of further develop Marceille's character and this idea. And I was wondering if they were ever going to approach the fact that, you know, elves have the extended life. I personally think that's kind of fascinating for reasons like I mentioned about how I'd already kind of explored the idea of what immortality would seem like to me if I had it. I've kind of come to the conclusion that I don't know if I would ever want to be considered immortal, but if there was a way that I could extend my life and I could learn everything that I wanted and satiate my curiosity, who knows, maybe that takes 10,000 years, maybe that takes 100,000, a million, maybe stars burn out and galaxies fade away, and maybe I need time that others would seem unending, but I'd like to think that at some point I could feel like I had sated that curiosity for that wanting to understand deeper on some level. Recently, like I would say like within my 30s and stuff, I know we talked about this in like other episodes where I was really getting into like these ideas of like energy and infinity and things like that, and like drawing from source and making energy within your hands. I'm just so curious at the idea of infinity and how its manifestation within our three-dimensional space, and how we are these kind of finite beings, but then there's also belief systems about that infinitude that we kind of collectively rejoin together on some end. So I'm apt to think that it's more of a blessing than a curse, and that a curse is a self-imprisonment of the mind and where one places themselves. And as we saw, that's exactly what happened with Marceille. She was so arrested by her own fear of loss that it was crippling her ability to move forward and to, if you want to place it in another way, escape the matrix. She was locked in her own set of parameters and her own programming. You know, sometimes you just need that outside source to be like, no, you just step outside, open the door, walk through it. All those like cryptic messages that you see in like dystopian kind of stories and things like that. I don't know. I love the study and the topic of the conscious nature of reality and things like that. So strange that I'm watching a show about cooking monsters in a dungeon and I'm having these very deep wellings that are just bubbling to the surface about things that I've kind of suppressed so that I can watch an anime, and yet they're being pulled forward by the most unlikeliest of places. And honestly, that is the joy of discovery that I am finding within these reaction videos. I hope you are as well. I know I'm gifted with the gift of gab. I could talk forever about this. Unfortunately, my computer would give out before I did. So with that, we'll save it for another episode. I'll see you later. Have a great one. This is Noxiddar out. We'll see you.